Welcome back to Parts Random. Today's episode I want to do a quick walkthrough of Gravity Sketch for the Oculus Quest. This is a 3D modeling application for the Quest. So without further ado, let's jump in. So when the application starts up, you start out in this main lobby where you have a few choices. One is to load a model from the cloud or from the Oculus's local storage. The app comes with a number of pre-built models that you can preload. Alternatively, you can load the last thing you were editing or create a new sketch, which is what we're going to do. Now I have an empty space. So right now I'm centered right at the origin. I can use the left controller's grab button to change the world and shift the world. So I'm going to bring it up here a bit so the origin's a little higher. Now what I can do is I can take my right controller and just pull the trigger and start drawing, and I can draw in 3D space. I can bring up the color wheel with the right controller's bottom button and draw in a different color, etc. Now you'll notice on the right controller there's a sphere. That allows you to select objects. If you intersect an object, it will highlight the object. You can then use the grab button to grab it. Once it's grabbed, you'll notice that the top buttons on the controller have changed from the menu button and the undo button to an edit button and a delete button. So if I push the left controller's top button, I'll go into edit mode, and now I can go in and edit individual points on the line or delete those points, etc. Or I can go over here and I can change the shape of the line and change other properties. And then I can click the left controller stop button to commit those changes. And so you can see that the line is no longer round, it's triangular in shape. In order to change the size of an object, you can just grab hold of it and then also push the left controller's grab button and then move your hands together or further apart to scale the object. If you have no object selected, you can do the same thing. You've scaled or shrunk the entire workspace. When you first start the application, the first thing you're going to probably want to do is push on the left controller's top button and go down to Learn and click on one of these, which will bring up a video panel, which will allow you to go through a video tutorial of the application's features. And it's a pretty good tutorial and should teach you most of the basics. When I push on the left controller's bottom button, you can see these are all the primitives that I can edit. If you click on a drawing mode twice, it'll bring up a panel that has a set of properties for that drawing mode. So for instance, in this case, this is the surface of revolution. I can change how much of the revolution is actually created. So for instance, here you can see now I have about 180 degrees of a surface of revolution. If I pull the right trigger, I can then drag out some surface like that, which I can then grab and manipulate. And you can always select an object. Now, notice when I select the object, my left trigger button went from the menu button to the edit button. So then I can go into edit mode and I could say create it to be full 360 and then commit those changes. Now I've got like a nice, I don't know, looks like a hat or a crazy vase, which I can then move to where I want in space. There are a number of primitives that you can create. So say like a super ellipsoid, which again, I can select, then go into edit mode and say change the amount of pinch on it or scale along some axis, etc. I can select it and then change the color, etc. Overall, it's a kind of a fun app to just play around in. It feels a lot like Tilt Brush. The one downside is that, it is $30 versus Tilt Brush, which is free. I don't think you would do any serious editing in this application, but it's not bad. It's just I thought it was a bit pricey for what it does. It's kind of cool. You know, you can just not convinced that it's $30 cool. Hope you found this useful, and till next time, take care.